We're at the Canadian International Auto Show and we're looking at the Chrysler 200 for the 2015 model year. So a lot of changes have been made to this and it's basically been redesigned from scratch. You'll notice a lot of Italian flair to this. You'll notice it almost has this Dodge Dart like, sleekness to it. It is a bigger platform, but overall, if you look at it from a side, ignore that the trunk doesn't close on this one, but it almost looks like something German, like a Volkswagen or an Audi. If I had closed that trunk, it would look a lot more sleek, and it would look like the A7 from the back, like on this model right here. This is what the trunk looks like closed. So you have a swooping back, and the trunk lid still swoops downward. So the paint job on this one I really like. It is a silver. It's a standard silver, but there's a lot of gloss to it, and I don't know if it's the auto show lights that are really bringing this car's color out, or car's shade out rather, but it looks really nice. The doors on this one are, the door handles rather, have a chrome accent to the top of them. And let's step inside. As you can see, there's a blind spot monitor on the show model. So this is the trim on the door. It's very matte plastic wood finish, or wood grain finish. As we step inside, okay, the door didn't have a soft close, but this is a Chrysler and it's probably going to compete more with the Hondas and the Toyotas. So now that we're inside, let's see what we have. So this is a steering wheel. Wow, that's a lot of buttons. Okay, so here we have, I believe it's adaptive cruise control. Navigation buttons, sorry, not navigation, direction buttons to control the screen over there. It's probably going to be a color screen. Chrome accents around the dials, the speedometer dial and the tachometer, around the gauges rather. Start stop, this is probably going to be Chrysler's Uconnect screen, and that looks about 8 inches, but it could be more. I like how this pops outward. If you look at it from this angle, you'll see that the screen is almost vertical, but as we get over here, we have this, it pops out almost like the 2014 Lexus IS. So some of the features, or some of the specs on this car rather, is it's going to come with a 184 horsepower Tiger Shark engine and an optional V6 option which will generate around 295 horsepower, and that's a 3.6 liter engine. The base engine is a 2.4 liter engine. Paddle shifters, let's see the glove compartment. Okay, there's not really, this is the glove compartment. I'm not sure why it's just a big hole. Oh no, it's not a big hole. Oh, it's cool. It's you can play with it in many different ways. So I think you can move this all the way here, get cup holders, and have a big glove compartment. So the glove compartment still exists below these cup holders, as you can see when I press this button and I slide it this way. It's pretty extensive. What's next is we'll step outside, take a look at some more angles. So I already talked about some of the engines on this one. Those tires look like they're alloy, but they look very, they're shiny, but they're very dull, or they don't have, a very high look, a high-end look to them. And I'm just a bit confused whether this is the base model or if it's something more premium because of the chrome door trims. So what I suppose goes here is an LED stripe. The grille looks really nice. The grille kind of complements the matte logo that sits in between. This is the lower grille. You have two fog lights over there. So some things that come to mind is this kind of reminds me of a cross between a Volkswagen Passat or Volkswagen CC, an Audi A7, and if you look at it from here, it kind of reminds you of the Lincoln MKZ. Those mirrors are really sleek. So let's pretend to close this trunk here. Let's pretend it's closed. So this is the element on the outside. The red element on the outside is what's probably going to be LED infused, and it's probably going to create this pattern that stretches from here all along here. So it's going to create that kind of pattern, and you can imagine that in there would either be a standard light bulb, or it could be LEDs. We'll have to wait and see how it looks. So let's pretend again this trunk is closed, and you can see this swoops this way. So you have this curve that runs along the back of the trunk, and this part is almost completely flat like the Audi A7, but also reminds me again of the Lincoln MKZ. So this has been a detailed look at the 2015 Chrysler 200 at the Canadian International Auto Show in Toronto.